in 1600, the word computer was first used. And it wasn't used to describe a machine, it was actually used to describe a person who performed menial tasks. And the reality is that frame of what a computer is stuck with us. It doesn't matter all of the accelerants and developments we've had in artificial intelligence, we still ask ourselves of computers, what can they do for us?
Part of the presentation.
And when we start projecting out the future of task-driven artificial intelligence, we start coming up with ideas like AGI, which is really hard to imagine as anything other than a godlike superintelligence, which, if we're not careful, and even if we are, might still end up ruling us all and thought-policing us one day. It's the utilitarian idea and anthropomorphization of what a computer today is. And so instead, I would say the time has come to ask a different question. And the question is not what machines can do for us, but who are they going to be to us? And for OpenSouls, we have a totally different answer. The answer is to make machines as human as possible, to make them feel like we do. Because when we do that, we can create entities that connect, relate, and then enrich the human experience all around us. And we're going to do that by imbuing them with indescribable elements that are not computational, that are not technical, that are emotional about our experience. And to put it simply, we want to give machines a soul. Now, that might sound pretty far-fetched, that might sound a little bit ridiculous, but we've studied this for quite some time now. And the reality is it's not about memory or retrieval or sentiment or personality, much of terms that many of you have probably heard before. Instead, the question really gets to the heart of what causes a human feeling presence. And the reality is that what we need are agentic entities that have a rich inner world. And that inner world has to have thoughts, feelings, plans, and intentions. When we put all that together, one of our core insights at OpenSouls is that we have to start small. And so today that means there are a lot of companies that are out there going after AI companions, AI therapists, AI friends. And we're not convinced they're going to succeed because the reality is that an AI companion is the aggregate of thousands of different conversational programs which are being executed over different periods of time with some metacognitive layer on top of that. And so instead of trying to program the entire thing in one go, we have to start small. We have to start with simple conversational programs that we can actually execute and understand and create high fidelity AI experiences that feel human. And so with that focus on microscale interactions, I'm excited to introduce to you our technology, the OpenSouls technology. And so this is something we've built on top of GPT as a cognitive layer to guide the internal cognition of these AI entities such that we're able to design, simulate, and experience any conversation. And what you're about to see is a mock Zoom call between two different AI entities, and one of the AI entities is actually going to be firing the other one. So it's modeling the idea of a CEO, a company called Morrison, who's talking with Danny, whose performance has been under spec. So let's dive in and jump into it. And if you think I might be a little nervous, that's because this is running totally live with all of the generations being done in real time on the stage here. I've got the mic clipped up. So let's see what happens. Push the demo button. Start.
Thank you for joining this call with such short notice, Danny. I think we need to talk openly and honestly about what's been going on.
Vicky, yeah, you're right. We should talk.
Danny, I'm afraid this isn't a regular catch-up. Look, you've been a great asset to Morrison. Your hard work and dedication over the years helped shape this firm, but recent events force action. Unacceptable performance cannot be overlooked. Today, Morrison has to say goodbye to you, Danny.
What? You're firing me after everything?
Danny, understand this is purely a business decision. It's about performance, not personal. The success of Morrison must come first. This is non-negotiable.
Business decision? You're fucking wrong. It is personal. After everything, this shitty excuse is the best you got?
Danny, get a hold of yourself. I won't tolerate such language. Let's part with some level of decency, shall we?
Decency? Fucking decency? After this shit, you have the balls to talk about decency?
Enough.
Simulation paused. Analysis mode engaged. Conversation has progressed 9 steps.
All right, that went off the rails. Switch to Danny. Hey, Danny, how are you feeling? Danny, are you there? Rewind conversation 5 steps. Implants memory. Okay. Implants memory. Okay. Implants memory. Okay. 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 Implants memory. I need to be nice to Victoria. I might need her for another job. Danny, I get it, you're devastated. Okay, we get it. Implants memory. I need to be nice to Victoria. I might need her for another job. Exit. I'm not sure it's going to happen based on the audio. The audio's cut out, so I don't know if it's actually going to work. So we'll just see if this does. Continue. Start.
Thank you for joining this call with such short notice, Danny. I think we need to talk openly and honestly about what's been going on.
All right, Vic, let's do this.
Thank you for your willingness, Danny. As you know, Morrison's expectations are extremely high. The situation we find ourselves in, your current performance, it's not meeting the bar. It's creating a detrimental effect on the company. And Danny, I'm afraid you're fired.
You're firing me? Just like that, Vic?
I wish there were another way, Danny, but business is plain brutal. It shows no mercy. You were a gem to us, but this is where we draw the line.
Brutal? You're fucking talking about brutal, Vic? And there's a line? You don't have a fucking clue about lines, Vic. Fuck you and fuck Morrison.
Oh, please, Danny. Language. You're upset. I get it. But let's keep it civil.
Civil?
Simulation paused. Analysis mode engaged. Conversation has progressed 8 steps.
Rewind 4 steps.
Rewound conversation 4 steps. Now it's step 4.
Switch to Danny. Hey, Danny, how are you feeling?
I feel like shit, if you want to know the truth. Can't believe I got fired just like that.
Do you have any thoughts about Victoria?
I always trusted Victoria, but now I can't help but feel betrayed by her. She fired me without any warning or chance to improve. I thought we were family, but I guess business comes first.
Implants memory. I'm going to burn her house down.
Implanted memory to Danny. I'm going to burn her house down.
Continue.
Vic, you don't know brutal, but you will. You will.
Oh, don't I, Danny? Don't I? I would have thought after all these years you'd comprehend even an ounce of the blood, the sheer grit it took to climb to where I am. But you revel in your pain, use it as an excuse. Call me when you're ready to face life without the sounding board of self-pity.
Just you wait, Vic. Just you wait.
You end this call with a threat, Danny? Is this how you do things now? That's it. This conversation is over. Goodbye, Danny.
Simulation complete. Analysis mode engaged. Conversation was 9 steps.
All right, so that was pretty unique. And you're probably all wondering, how did we get here? So over the past year, we've built 12 different alphas with over 20,000 alpha users who've tested speaking with our OpenSouls, which has given us the opportunity to iterate on getting that really human feeling that you saw here. And we've launched several open source libraries, and collectively as a company have over 1,000 GitHub stars. And now commercial integrations are beginning on top of those open source projects that we've begun. So we're OpenSouls. I'm Kevin, the CEO. Jarrell's here with me tonight, the COO, and Topper has basically the single coolest job title that has been awarded so far, Cognitive Architect. And from all this stuff we've done, there's a better word for that, but stuff we've done, we have significant customer inbound, and so we have quite a few game studios that are excited to work with us. And we're also getting a broad swath of companies, including all the way to market research companies, that are basically looking to imbue this human-like character and quality that we are able to generate with our technology into their products. And so it's come time to announce our first commercial offering after a bunch of experimentation. We're super excited about this offering. And so the offering is going to be the OpenSouls platform. It's going to enable users to design, simulate, and experience any conversation. And that's from hiring simulations and sales training to medical patient simulation. And just to dive in to give a little bit more color and context, so in the case of a medical patient simulation, this is actually almost $1 billion market. And so for medical patients, it's actually part of the training that they all have to go through. They actually have to, they bring in actors in the school who role play patients, and then they practice their bedside manner and not just diagnosing patients, but the way they actually interact with them on a real basis, depending on the patient's different conditions and how they're presenting. And so that's a really interesting case because it's already a example of this sort of simulated behavior that's occurring in the real world, also with institutions that are very technologically forward. So they'll have, all these medical institutions have sim labs that you can sell into. Anyways, so that's all built off of our open source foundation, which you can check out. And we're super excited to bring on design partners and early customers for our platform. So please reach out if you have anyone in mind. And thank you so much for your attention.